It's a very busy day. We can't investigate every horrifying fleet of unmarked trucks. We've got more important things, like this voicemail from my boyfriend.
Hey Cecil, I made so much progress today. Doug and some of the other members of the army of warriors who roam this otherworld desert took me to the top of the mountain, to the lighthouse up on it. Oh, right, I'm still stuck in the desert otherworld. How are you? I miss you. Anyway, they showed me the photos on the walls inside the lighthouse. One of the warriors, whose name is Alicia, and who is not a woman or a man, and who is Doug's partner, and who has a dog, and who is trying to make a new currency based on sand, walked me through the pictures. There were photos of living rooms and parks and lawns, photos of Night Vale. I asked if Alicia took these photos because they were good photos, colorful, well composed, alive. Alicia shook their head no, and the other warriors in the room pointed quietly back to the photos, and I saw that they were literally alive. The people and all of the things that were not people moved in the photos. Blades of grass in the breeze, small bees spiraling, a man refusing to smile, and all within the confines of rough driftwood frames. Inside the lighthouse, you can see anywhere, although you cannot go to any of those wheres. And as I leave this message, I can see you, Cecil. Yeah, I'm watching you shave. Oh, it's cute how you pull up your nose like that. Oh, but you missed a spot. I'm sorry, I haven't had time to go looking for the doorway back to your dimension. I'm learning so many things, though. I promise to return soon. This desert otherworld is just so scientifically interesting. Maybe it's the most scientifically interesting community I've ever seen. I love you. I'll try calling you again tonight. Is it even nighttime there? Oh, I've lost all sense of time.
So, I don't know. All of that and such. You know, there is a certain sweetness to the hastily assembled rides, to the thought of eating air-blown pastel sugar, your boyfriend winning you a stuffed animal at the bird-mocking booth, exchanging known quantities of fiat cash for meta-fiat paper coupons. Oh, it sounds just dreamy. No, these wicked magicians of the Midway, they must be using mind control to draw us in. Do not fall victim to holding hands hotly under the cool lights, the undulating swirl and discordant fugue of the merry-go-round about us. Carlos, oh, Carlos, let's go to the carnival. No. Stop it, Cecil. No. Night Vale, avoid the carnival. Hide in your homes. Listeners, I received a call today from a Dr. Sylvia Kayali, who introduced herself as working at the University of What It Is. I told her I had never heard of that particular learning institution. Actually, what happened is the name led to a comedic back and forth. What is? What it is. The university is what? No, of what it is, and so on. But eventually, I accorded her the usual treatment of any academic person of importance, which was a bellowing lecture about the dangers of education, followed by a tense, suspicious silence. Taking advantage of that silence, she jumped in and explained that the University of What It Is was concerned about one of their faculty members, who had taken a sabbatical to investigate some probably fantastical rumors about a strange town in the desert, and then had never returned. I told her that I didn't know of any strange towns, just the pleasant burg we call home. Well, she said, I'll keep trying then. If you hear from a scientist going by the name of Carlos, please let us know. As you can imagine, listeners, I made all sorts of noises when she said that, but she had already hung up and had left no callback number. My phone screen just showed a picture of a beach during a bad storm, with a shivering human figure off in the distance, again and again, nearly but not quite, swept away by the pounding surf. I think that's an area code of what? Idaho? I don't have these things memorized. More on this as I aggressively investigate. I received another call from Dr. Kayali. Before she even spoke, I told her that I, in fact, knew a Carlos, and explained, in a completely businesslike and journalistic tone, the tenor of our relationship. Carlos is there? She said. Only she didn't put a question at the end of it. So maybe she was just saying, Carlos is there. In either case, she told me that this was surprising, and that the University of what it is would send someone right away to see why their faculty member had never made it home. I said, he never mentioned a university to me. And she said, do we ever dare to speak of higher education to the ones we love? Which is a valid point. Education is such a scary and forbidden subject that you would be a fool to mention it out loud. I forgave Carlos for this lapse, or I will, as soon as I can get him on the phone. Hey, Carlos? Call me. In the meantime, I'll let you know what happens when the folks from the University of what it is come by. Still haven't heard from Carlos. The representatives from the University of what it is arrived. They are besuited and behatted and be a number of other things besides. They move in a group of 3, led by Dr. Kayali herself, looking at everything and everyone they encounter with a critical eye and what looks like a sneer, but could just be the natural set of their faces. I rushed out to meet these people that could perhaps tell me something that I don't know about the love of my life, only to find that, flush with their recent victory over the carnival, Night Vale citizens had cornered the staff members from the University of what it is, shouting and waving household items like sticks and police batons. "Interloper!" they cried. "Interloper!" "No, no," I said. "Well, yes," I said, because they were interlopers, but good interlopers. If only there was a word that meant good interloper. Dr. Kayali did not seem afraid of the crowd. She considered the Nightville residents before her and patted the air in a placating motion. And, by the way, did you know that the term for a group of citizens is a mob? The English language is so funny. The doctor's calm demeanor did not transfer to the mob around her. They howled and jeered, saying things like, "Remember that carnival? Let's do that again." and chanting popular slogans like, "Arg! Outsiders!" I, more than anyone, know that not all outsiders are bad. Most outsiders are. Arg! Outsiders. But some outsiders are great. The best. My favorite. And these outsiders know about that outsider. "Listeners," I said to the mob, because the moment I began speaking, my relationship to them was one in which they were hearing me. I said, "Please, let us proceed with caution and empathy. We've never tried it before. Maybe it'll work." But the mob was beyond hearing, and they continued their advance. For the first time, I looked out at the faces of my fellow citizens and saw them not as friends and companions, but as a dangerous combination of suppression and indoctrination. And so I did the only thing that I could think to do in that moment. "If you won't listen," I said, "then I will make you listen. I will make you all listen to the weather."